Hi, everyone. This week's social language lesson is on social inferencing and subtle cues. When we infer something, we are making an educated guess based on the subtle cues surrounding the situation. And I'm going to have us look at some pictures today, and I'm going to ask you some questions about those pictures. I'll try and pause between each question so that you can come up with an answer on your own and see if it matches mine or if it fits the picture. And hopefully, you're working with a parent or with an adult that can help you with this as well. So, let's take a look at our first picture. What we have here is we have three people. And the first thing I want to ask you is, do these people know each other? How do you know it? Well, we can make an educated guess that they do know one another because this gentleman has his arm around this woman, and this woman is touching this girl's arm. Did you think of that too? Okay. Number two, do you think that these people are related? How do you think that they're related? If you do think they're related. Well, again, I'm going to use some social subtle cues here, and I'm going to do some inferencing. And I see again that they're all posing for a picture. So I'm guessing that they all know each other. I'm going to guess that they're related, that this is husband and wife, and this is possibly their daughter. Okay. Again, when we infer, you're making an educated guess. Okay. So it looks that way. It doesn't necessarily always mean that that is the case. What are these people doing? Well, if I look at some subtle cues, I can see that this man is holding up some keys. And I see other cars here, and there's something, a picture, a painting, or something on the car. I'm going to guess, I'm going to infer that based off of these subtle cues, that they're buying a car. The next question kind of goes along with the last question. Where are these people? Well, if we take a look at again at the cars surrounding us and how they're painted, we don't usually paint the inside of a vehicle unless somebody's trying to sell the car. So they're probably at a car dealership. How is this man feeling? Is he happy? How do you know that he's happy? Be specific. His mouth is smiling. His eyes are wide open. What do you think could happen that would make the man feel differently? What do you think might make him not feel happy if he was sad or upset? This one might take a little bit of background information. If you've ever been with your family and they've purchased a car, or if you've known somebody who's purchased a car, sometimes you have to apply for a car loan. And maybe he would feel bad if he didn't qualify for that car loan. Or what if they drove the car off the lot and somebody hit their car and they got in an accident? That could definitely make him feel differently, right? What are they going to do in the next few minutes? Well, I'm going to guess that if they just purchased a car, they're probably going to drive off the lot in the next few minutes. Maybe they'll go for a drive around town. Maybe they'll drive to go get dessert. The next question asks us, what person do you think is going to drive and why? Well, subtle cue that I have here is that the dad is holding the keys. So I'm going to make an educated guess that he's the one that's going to be driving the car. What might the girl be thinking? She might be thinking, I'm so happy we got a new car. Maybe it's got a DVD player in it. She's going to be able to watch movies when they go on vacation. All right, let's take a look at our next picture. All right, this next one. What is the problem in this situation? And how do you know that? Well, it looks like there might have been a car accident or a fender bender. And the subtle cues I see here is right down here. Their vehicles are very close together. It even looks like maybe there might be a crash in here, a dent in here. What might have happened to cause this problem? Well, I guess it kind of depends on where they were, right? If they were parked on the street, that maybe this gentleman was parked too close to this woman's car. And when he tried to get out, he bumped into her car. Or maybe they were on a freeway and there was a traffic jam and he was following too closely and then bumped into her car. Our next question asks, do these people know each other? Hmm, probably not. You don't usually know the person that you get into a car accident with. Now, if this happened in a parking lot at school or at work, these could be coworkers. So then, yeah, they could know each other. Do you understand what I'm saying now as far as inferring? When you infer something, you're making an educated guess. There's no way to completely know in this situation if these people know each other or not. What time of day is it? And how do you know that? Is it day or is it night? Well, I'm going to infer that it's daytime based on the subtle cue here that the sun is out. It's not dark. So I'm going to make an educated guess that it's daytime. How does the man feel? Well, I'm thinking he's a little disappointed, frustrated. How do you know that? Okay, if we're being specific, we see that he is holding his head. He's pointing to the vehicle almost like he's explaining what happened. Look at how his face is all kind of scrunched up here. His forehead has wrinkles in it. And his lips are kind of pursed, like, oh, what did I just do? All right. Those are those subtle cues that tell us, it's that body language that tells us that he is disappointed or frustrated. How do you think the woman feels? I think that she's feeling upset. Um, I wouldn't say that she is irate. Irate means that you're really angry. And usually, if somebody's irate, they're probably screaming. But I'm looking at some subtle cues here, and I can see that she is looking at him. Her face does not show me that she's yelling at him, but she definitely looks upset. Okay, so those are those subtle cues that tell us that she is not happy, that she's upset, and that she's not happy with the situation. Our next question asks, where are these people? And I'm going to be honest, there's not a lot of subtle cues here to tell us where they are. Okay, the only thing that I can really see behind me here are some trees. So I can infer that they're either in their neighborhood parked on a street or maybe at a park. Wherever they are, um, it's definitely not a parking lot. You usually don't have trees right smack dab in the middle of a parking lot. That's my guess. What do you think these people might do next? Well, I know you guys are kids and you might not have cars yet, that it's probably hard to tell what they would do next if you've never been in this situation. But usually, if you have a car accident or something happens in a parking lot, the first thing that these two people would want to do would be to exchange information, their names, their telephone numbers, and their insurance. Okay, so that's the next thing that they would do. And I don't expect many of you to know that answer. The next final question for this picture says, who might these people call? Okay, so based off of the last question that we were just talking about, they might call their insurance carrier and notify them that they had an accident. Now, I'm also going to point something else to you. This here looks like he just kind of bumped into her car. So it's not a huge accident. It doesn't look like something that's going to require a call to the police. But usually, if you're in a car accident and there's significant damage, you need to call police to file a report. All right. Okay, let's take a look at our next card. What is this boy doing? Well, he's clearly sitting. It looks like maybe he's sitting outside of his school. I'm going to guess that based on the backpack sitting next to him, the book over his face, the binder in his lap. Next question asks, how does this boy feel? And how do you know? Well, I'm going to infer that he's not very happy, probably pretty upset. And I'm going to guess that because he's got a book over his face. What could have caused him to feel this way, to feel upset? Maybe he has a test that he's supposed to take here in a little bit, or maybe he already took the test and didn't pass. If he hasn't taken the test yet, I'm going to infer, based off of this subtle cue of the book over his face, that he didn't give himself very much time to study. Our next question asks, where is this boy and how do you know it? Well, again, I'm going to guess that he's at school based off of the brick walls here, the hallway down here, again, the backpack and his book. Those are all the subtle cues that tells me that he's probably at school. If his friends walked by, what might they do? If this were your friend, what would you do? Chances are they're going to say, hey, are you okay? Or what happened? Do you want to talk about it? Anything like that. If another student that he didn't know walked by, what might they do? Well, I suppose it depends on the student. Some students might just walk by and not care. Another student might walk by, and because they see that somebody is upset and they have compassion and they're empathetic, that they are going to ask the same thing as if it were a friend. Are you okay? Do you need to talk? Do you need me to find someone for you? What might the boy do in the next few minutes? Okay, well, we don't have a whole lot to go off of to know if he just took a test or if he needs to take a test. So if he just took a test and he didn't do well on it, he might go and talk to the teacher and ask the teacher if he can retake it or when is a good time to take it, maybe for some extra notes or some clarification so the next time he takes the test, he doesn't fail it. Or if it's the end of the day and he can't talk to his teacher and he's already taken the test, he might just go home. That might be one of your answers as well. All right, let's take a look at our next picture here. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, some technical difficulties in this video here. Here's our next picture, and we're going to discuss. This one asks us, what are these people doing? Well, we can see that they're eating. Maybe lunch, maybe dinner. Can you infer why it's not breakfast? I don't see cereal or waffles or toast or anything going on here. It looks like this is a main meal, big meal. How do these people know each other? Again, we're making an educated guess here. I'm going to guess that this is a family. I see two kids and I see two adults. And so I'm going to guess that this is mom and dad, brother and sister. What time of the day is it? Again, I kind of gave that away with the last one when we were looking at the subtle cues here for what they were doing. They're eating. I'm going to guess that it is either daytime or an early dinner. I'm going to guess that because it looks like there's light coming in from behind them. It does not look dark. So I'm going to guess that it's daytime. So either lunch or an early dinner. And which person is talking? I think this boy is doing the talking. How do we know that? What cues give you that information? Everyone is looking at him. What might the boy be saying? This is one of those things that you could have several answers for. Well, it must be something good. And the subtle cue I have here is that he's smiling. So it must be some kind of good news. So maybe he got an A on a spelling test for this week. Or maybe he made it into the talent show. Those are both good pieces of news. Is the family interested in what he has to say? How do you know? Again, they're all looking at him. And sister here actually looks surprised. You can tell that her eyebrows are raised, like she's surprised. Where are these people? Are they at a restaurant or are they at home? How do you know that? If you guessed that they were at home, you'd be right. The subtle cues we have here is we can see the appliances behind them. We can see a plant. So chances are they're at home in their kitchen enjoying a meal together. How's the woman feeling? She's happy. Another word might be proud. She's proud of her son for making it into the talent show or getting an A on his test. And we can tell because she's looking at him and smiling. What might this family do next? Well, if it is good news, maybe they'll decide to go out for dessert. Maybe get some ice cream at Dairy Queen. Maybe they'll play a game. Okay, let's take a look at our next card. Do these people know each other? How do you know? Well, like some of our other pictures today, it looks like they know each other because this gentleman has his arm around this woman. I'm going to guess that they are probably husband and wife based on their ages and based on the way that he's being affectionate or loving towards his wife. What are they doing? There's not a whole lot of information here that tells us what they might be doing. How are they feeling? Okay, I'm going to wrap this into what they're doing. How is this man feeling? He looks pretty upset, doesn't he? What tells you that he is upset or sad? He's got his hand on his forehead, like he's got a headache, like I can't understand or process what is on this computer right here. He's looking down at the computer. How does she feel? She also looks upset or sad, right? She's got a frown. Her eyebrows here are furrowed. She's kind of squinting. So, what are these people doing? It's clearly something that's upsetting them. If they had smiles on their faces and they were staring at this computer, I would think that maybe they are doing a Zoom session or a FaceTime with their grandchildren. Maybe they would be excited to see them, but that is not the subtle cues that I'm getting from them. So, what are these people doing? I also see that she has a piece of paper here. I'm going to guess that maybe they're looking at the results of something from their doctor, or maybe they're applying for a new home loan and it's requiring a lot of information from them. What type of information might be presented on the computer? Again, it's probably medical information or financial information. Whatever information is on that computer is not very good. Our next question asks, what might the woman be writing down? We can see that there's a piece of paper and a pen in her hand here. Again, it's kind of hard to know what she's writing down if we don't know what's on the computer. If this is information from the doctor, maybe she is writing down a contact telephone number that she can contact the nurse or doctor to follow up on the results or to schedule an appointment. Or maybe if it has something to do with the bank, again, she's probably writing down a telephone number, a contact information. Last question wants to know, where are these people? Did you guess that they're at home? I'm guessing that they're at home. What subtle cues tell you that? I'm looking at the countertop here. It looks like a kitchen countertop. The walls behind them. They might even be like in their kitchen. This in the background here might be a refrigerator or a cabinet. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, these are just a few of the examples that we have for today for social inferencing and subtle cues. As you are visiting with friends and family members, either via Zoom or FaceTime, or when we eventually get to go out again and you're at the store or at a park and you see somebody's facial expressions, I hope that you as well are looking at the surroundings in that environment and that you're able to infer, make an educated guess as to what is going on. Leave me a message, let me know how you did, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.